It's after hours, you're mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted. So, the last thing you want to do is play a game of League of Legends. Okay, let's say you do want to torture yourself. You boot up the League client, you go choose your role. You might want to pick something irrelevant, just so you don't pay attention to the game and try to have fun. But no, you go to the most crucial lane of them all, mid lane. And okay, it could not get any worse, right? You just pick a simple character, an assassin, I don't know, a burst mage, whatever that tickles your pickle and is fairly accessible and easy to learn. But no, you pick Azir. So the circumstance that I have elaborated on is me 2 days ago at 3 or 4 a.m. Holy heaven above, Jesus Christ. Okay, so we're running Hail of Blades, Presence of Mind, and Scorch, which means we're gonna be aggressive as all heavens. Okay? Now, there is zero reason for us to ward here at almost 1 minute into the game. It'll be most useful to us during the laning phase, our very aggressive laning phase. And of course, us being mid, the threat of us being ganked is off the charts. You have to consider yourself getting ganked constantly. But me being the genius that I am, I totally ignored that factor and kept on harassing. And harassing is not the ultimate goal even here. The ultimate goal here is to deny the enemy CS while you perfectly CS without any problem. Think of harassing as a way to make your life easier. It could create opportunities for you that you didn't have if you would run, for example, a more passive build, right? It'll grant you sometimes kill pressure, it will lead to kills, it will grant you free and safe farming. Well, if you don't consider the ganking part of it, which is the most problematic part of this build. Since you're gonna be so aggressive, so in their face, so pushed in, well, a gank or multiple will be coming to you. You're gonna get what's coming to you if you're running this build. So, you really need to know the WEQ combos, you need to know how to escape in certain situations, where to escape to, and etc, etc. Really, and you need good knowledge of Azir too. For example, when to go in, when not to go in. The con of this build is that it kind of falls off in the late game, so you're better off using Bullet, or what was the name? First Strike for this build. And First Strike, the boots, and Cosmic Insights and Biscuits with the Sorcery secondary, so you would also keep that damage in the lane, the poking part of your kit. So you would also scale, your runes will scale. Yeah, for example, one WQ in the late game will grant you like what, 100 gold or even 200 gold. And that's very valuable because you already have a few items to boost Azir, you know, to boost the AP damage. And while you deal that much damage, because of your range, you'll be the first one always to strike, then you'll be able to snowball your way into your other items, and your other items also provide you with enough power to make your first strike more powerful, therefore getting more gold, getting more items, completing your items, and hopefully shuffle them into victory. Okay, we've killed time here more than we should. So let's go on to the next sequence. Notice how the enemy bot is missing. That's because they're leashing their jungler. Therefore, she started red. Which of course, I decided to also ignore. And that, my friends, is the cream of our biscuit. Notice how much damage and pressure this Zed is taking. This is the core goal of the build. To punish them for greeting so they wouldn't annoy you while you CS. And if they dare greed, you shove your spear down their ass.
Bury them!
And here you can see the frozen frame of an unfortunate mid laner, a foolish one, I might reiterate, that is trying to ward with no wards, and is face checking a bush when the jungle threat is at its highest. Now, my fiddlesticks is also very far away from bot side, so if I were to get ganked, I would get no support or no potential kills would have been picked, etc, etc. Now, what's even more bewildering not that I chose to ignore that Bel'Veth started bot and maybe is rotating to top side to finish her clears and do crap there and then re-rotate back to bot, so maybe she would contest the second crab. But even more wild than that is that I stick to this side for whatever reason. Okay, I have to use a forbidden tool for this. Okay, so the situation is so severe that I had to get some assistance from the good old reliable MS Paint. So, first of all, this is all because I'm stupid and didn't anticipate this gank, which I should have, but instead I had a little too fun poking the Zed. I don't know why, I just like to do that. Yeah, she exploits me for being this overpushed, which for Azir is not really that big of a deal, right? You can always use your W to summon a soldier here, for example, then E to travel this distance, and once you reach near here, you press Q and you extend that reach and you're almost back at your tower. And they can't do anything about that. But in this situation, the Zed was quite experienced and throws a shadow in front of me and teleports immediately to this shadow where I placed a soldier right next to it. Then Bel'Veth uses her W, which is this long, and interrupts my E. That's where I get airborne. So they catch me off guard here and follow me all the way up until here, and I fail flash. Bel'Veth uses her E to repel that flash and kill me right here. Okay, the best advice I can give you in this situation is to not lose flash. You know, after your E has been interrupted, you don't have really other means of survival but your flash. However, your in this case of mine, I'm so pushed that they can easily catch up, use their slows and CC options to slow me or to stun me for a while to secure the kill. And that flash absolutely does nothing, and I pressed it either way too late or I shouldn't have pressed it at all, which I think the latter is more accurate because I was dead anyway. Okay, so the second note that can be taken here is maybe there was another escape route. You see, my escape is fairly predictable here because I'm in the bottom right side, and if I am to get to safety, I have to place my soldier in the top of the lane and then proceed to queue back to my tower. But obviously that doesn't happen. Zed notices this because it's a very predictable move and seems like the only move, but there's also an alternative here. I could have placed a soldier here, E to it, and then queued to avoid that gank altogether. But you know, in the middle of the game you can't really have these brilliant moves come to your mind when you need them. But the first and best option was to just play safe and not give in to the, you know, the urge to poke the enemy laner every time your Q is up or your W is up. And of course, the early game observations can hugely benefit you in this situation, so you wouldn't get caught in this circumstance in the first place. No cap. If I EWQ comboed him, he would have been dead. And I had Ignite off, his health was very low, and this was just a wasted chance. Now, there was a potential that his W was up, but it was worth at least a try. It is never worth using up your mana for grudge or something like that. However, in this case, because Zed has low health and we have a high kill pressure on him, he will back. We push the wave and base. Otherwise, this was a terrible idea, using 100 mana to serve no purpose. Okay, we catch Zed here trying to roam. What we do is, we do not follow him, we stay and push the lane, because he didn't push the wave enough in order for it to crash to your tower. As Azir, you can easily push waves without much effort, so you do that, and bada bing bada boom, lo and behold, he's back mid lane.
Don't pull! No! Oh! Damn!
The combo you saw performed there is called a shuffle combo. In this case, it's the Shuriman shuffle. Now, what are the shuffle combos, you might ask? It's a very popular combo that involves your everyday WEQ combo, but with the addition of the R in the end, which relocates enemy champions, enemy troops. I cannot stress enough how powerful and how deciding this ultimate can be in mid to late game fights, or even early fights if your team is coordinated. Azir's R and these shuffle combos are where most of Azir's carry potential comes from, along with his insane damage scaling. An important note that is also worth remembering is that you need to actually spam R when you're doing the shuffle combos, especially the Revenant combo, because abilities you cast actually take a tiny bit of time to actually go off or connect or hit. So if you don't know when to exactly press R, which most of Azir players don't, let's be honest, even the professionals spam R during their shuffle combos, it is recommended 99.9% of the time to just spam R in your shuffle combos. As I've hinted, I'm not gonna actually cover these combos because YouTube is literally flooded with them. You can go watch any video and that should do it for you. I've watched multiple of them and all of them cover, I'd say all of them perfectly, and you'd be on your merry way to hopefully shuffle fools. So over here I want to limit tests against a mythic advantage Z, and I think if I played that a little more better and I hadn't cancelled my I think third or second auto, I still had some chance in that fight. But then he decides to go all in on that, and I lost a very good kill because I didn't WEQ him, I simply WQ'd him. The difference is I could have gone ahead of him, placed a soldier on the path that he was taking and cut him off and, you know, deal the fatal blow.
One day you'll figure this out. And when you do, you will change.
I shouldn't have walked through the jungle and into my tower to confront Belweth. I should have taken the back road, but that would have made no difference as everyone was kind of approaching the fight, and it led to my end. I should have known that Zed was around there because he was last seen on the on our jungle, our blue side jungle. And yeah, that was a very unfortunate death by me, and they gained a huge lead and win from here on out. Every lane won. Everyone CS'd very well. This Twitch griefed for some reason, and yeah, nothing more happened. Okay, I land the shuffle, but don't finish Z. Gotta be one of the worst. If this was chess, the enemy team combined made 12 blunder moves in a row. But you know what's even worse? You know what's even worse? We didn't even punish them for it. So a grand sum of 3 kills were missed. We totally whiffed. We butchered it. We how do I say it the most Christian way possible? I can't. We f***ed up. And the play was probably to be more aggressive. And pretty much everything that comes after these events that I've shown you are boring as all hell and are just your standard typical dying 300,000 times until they finally decide to finish the game and release your soul from the eternal torment of each match. That aside, I think I landed one good shuffle, which singled out the Belveth and scored us the kill before they eventually fell on us and ended the game. And I believe that I've pointed out every mistake that you could have made in lane, in some of your roams, fights, and general tips to keep you mindful while you're playing such a high skill ceiling and skill floor character such as Azir. But your choice is great if you put the time and effort and energy into him. If you really like Azir, you can literally pick him in any matchup, except Xerath, ban Xerath. Other than that, his lane has no equal. He dominates almost all lanes, with a few exceptions, and farms really well and consistently, which I did not. That's one final point I should make, that you need to farm fairly consistently, especially when you don't have first strike. When you have first strike, you can engage and fight more and earn gold while you do it. It's more value. But if you don't have first strike and run other runes, because otherwise your matchup will be difficult or straight up unbeatable, I would recommend running the build that the runes that I've shown you in the beginning of the video. You can run that in pretty much any matchup and just win. But some matchups are so easy for you, especially mages. You can run Arcane Comet or Aerie and straight up delete people in the early game. But other than that, keep looking around side lanes and look for opportunities to perhaps flank people using your combo. Do not get caught. This is a very important part of Azir. If you do get caught, you have R, but if they have the mobility to, surpass your R, you're in big or great trouble, I should add. But other than that, I don't think Azir really falls off. You just delay his inevitable ascension into godhood. Yeah, that's because his range is absurd, and his ult, as I've told you, his carry potential. Even if you don't score any kills, you're scoring kill for team. So yeah, he's a very versatile character. If you're behind and you're trying to focus on your carry in the game, whether that be a fed Yone, a fed AD carry, you can play both sides. You can be the carry or greatly aid the carry, is all I'm trying to say here. Other than that, I gotta thank you that you made it all the way here. I know after a specific mark, I began to experience a little bit of burnout, and I didn't edit as well I could have. And I will see to it that my future videos become less boring and more consistent, because I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just not as consistent as one should be. Not in necessarily making YouTube. This is literally the dream for me, to make my YouTube career, but it's just, it plagues all aspects of my life, and I want to root that out, starting from the job that I like to do, which is YouTube. So yeah, thanks for bearing my annoying voice. It's the most annoying to me. I know it is annoying to you. Stop lying to me. Other than that, I hope you learned how to shuffle, how to not die like I did, and become more stylish. Add the final panache or the flair that you needed to become cooler, if you were already cool, or straight up learn some things that you didn't know about Azir, or just came here for the laughs. I appreciate you. I appreciate you regardless, and I hope you have a wonderful time whenever, wherever you are. Until next time, friends.